Hey y'all, it's Natalie and I'm here with the A Cherry on Top design team, and it's time for our monthly YouTube hop. This month our theme was celebration, and so I'm using the summer break kit collection from ACOT to celebrate the beginning of summer break, and it's called Summer Break. I was inspired to create my page by these little 2x2 squares that came in the 6x6 paper pad. And it inspired my grid design on my layout. So I have 4 photos of my boys who went on the first day of summer celebration day out with their Gigi, my mother. So that is what we are scrapbooking today. So I'm just picking a few coordinating papers that go with the squares that I picked out from that one cut apart sheet. And so I picked some patterns. So I like that stripe. I like the retro vibe in this collection. It's really fun. And then I wanted to use the star paper that kind of goes with that other cube there that has stars in the background. And then I really loved this paper that has words on it about summer. And so I'm kind of trying to cut out specific parts where the words won't be cut off when I trim it down to 2x2. So you'll see me kind of wonkily cutting it in a weird way, and that's so I can keep like the word summer on there or something like that. And then I threw in the cloud paper. I thought that the bright blue was nice, and I knew that I wanted to use the word summer break from the sticker sheet, and it was that color blue. So next I take that yellow paper and I ran it through my border punch that has like the notebook paper, and I'm going to do 2 of those, and those are going to go across the top. I kind of cut my white paper at an angle, and so that, there you go, the red polka dots are going to stick out at the top, and then I'm going to use the yellow stars to trim in between the white and the red. So that's what you see me adding right here. And so except for that red paper and the background paper, of course, I made this with a 6x6 paper pad only, and with the sticker sheet from the ACOT collection. Again, it's called Summer Break, and it's super cute. A little bit of a retro vibe. There's like a Polaroid camera. It talks about a drive-in. It has like some roller skates, some pinball machines. Very fun. I'm going to put a little bit of strip across the bottom of the red polka dots as well. And that was from a different collection, but the red matched really nicely with this one. So usually in ACOT, they tend to use the same colors. Like if they're using, primary colors, then they're going to have the same red in this collection as they are going to have in this collection and this collection. So it's really nice because you can mix and match well, at least for the patterns, if not for the themes. So I just kind of use my fingers to pull up those frills, if you will, on the border piece and give it some dimension. I also used that red polka dot paper to give a border to all of my photos, and then I roughed up the edges of all of the squares that I cut, and I inked them up with some fossilized amber distress oxide. And just inking them up to me gives that extra little oomph to help them stand out off of the page. It kind of brings cohesion because it puts that same color onto every piece. So then I was like, you know what? It's a celebration, right? So I went and I grabbed some dies. I have a fringe die, and that is like a streamer die. And I decided to add a little bit more at the top in celebration of summer. So I'm showing you right there. That's a lawn fawn die, but it's a scallop. But I thought, it's a celebration, but I didn't want it to be a really big main part of the page. So I trimmed off most of the scallops. So you just have a very small fringe there. And then I'm going to line it with that other stripe paper that I used to cut out the streamer. And I think it'll be a fun way to add across the top that we really are celebrating. Along with the die from Emily Moore Designs that says, yay. It's one of my favorite dies. It's super versatile. It's meant, I think, primarily for card making, but I've used it on a few layouts. And so it's going to make my title be Yay Summer Break when I combine it with that sticker from the ACOT sticker sheet. So I've arranged the grid down below. I never really like, one square under one square under one square all the way across, super perfection because that's just not my style. Of course, I like distress. I like a little wonky. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to use some stars and a little bit of a streamer bundle, if you will, of a stamp to stamp in coordinating colors on the background just around where I'm hoping they'll peek out from around the squares. So I kind of put the squares on there where they're going to be so I can kind of see. There you see that streamer kind of thing. A tassel, that's the word, the tassel. So I did that one in tumbled glass. The yellow is, again, fossilized amber. And then I just found a polka dot. I'm going to go through with a polka dot, and I am doing first and second generation stamping. But I'm going to go through with the brown and add that in because there's a brown stripe in that stripe paper, and I thought that would be a fun contrast. And then we're going to put the squares on there, and I'm just going to kind of stagger them a little bit. And I will take this moment to remind you, this is a hop. So if you go through the hop and you comment on everyone's video, you'll be entered for a chance to win a $25 store gift card to a cherry on top, which is awesome. So I'm going to link down below with all the products that are still available in the store. This collection is so cute. Summer's just beginning, so hopefully you'll want to grab it to document your summer. There's so many good things in there. Lots of summer kit collections for if you have a vacation planned or something like that. So you can see I staggered the grid, and now I'm going to go around and just embellish with the stickers. So I'm placing the rest of the title right here. I like to everything to kiss each other a little bit, touch, overlap, just the smallest a bit. I decided to add a sticker underneath that. And this is to kind of make sure that everything seems intentional. It's meant to be there. Everything's touching a little bit. It all goes together really well. Nothing's out floating on its own. They went to see Lilo and Stitch, so they needed some popcorn. I love that ice pop sticker. It's so cute. They went to the playground, so that's up at the top. That's why I had to choose that cube about the playground. I used some stars around the page since they are in that yellow background paper. And I think we are about to call it a layout. So I'm going to fluff everything up and give it that nice dimension, trim off the excess from the sides. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to hop along and comment on all the videos for a chance to win store credit. I decided there was a little bit of white space I wanted to marry up between the grid and that border bit at the top. So I added that cute little retro radio and a couple of stars, and then it just was enough to meet in that white space to the border. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.